Being Texan is more than just a birthright. We think it is truly a measurable value, like hot and cold, fast or slow. There are varying degrees of things Texan. Take, for example, the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, pretty much at the top of the charts when it comes to boot and hat values. And it was precisely in the middle of this annual Cowtown celebration where we found native Texan Mark Davis behind the microphone carrying on a radio broadcast that reaches far beyond the Red River.
News Talk 820 WBAP, Mark Davis on this. Since 1994, I have had the joy of dominating Texas talk radio from WBAP, News Talk 820, from 9 o'clock until noon, every morning, Monday through Friday. So let's go to the other side of the coin, and that is some actual justice. The authorities actually doing something.
Politics, religion, taxes, crime and punishment, the normal hot-button topics that stir up a nationwide audience on Mark's 3-hour gab fest. But it was a chilly sport from the north that Mark once mentioned in passing that got a sizzling audience response unlike anything he'd ever heard before.
Every day we talk about things that matter in your life. We talk about news, we talk about issues, we talk about things that are central to your family and your lifestyle. But coming up, you know what's coming. Here come the Olympics, and that only means one thing. Oh, I know it means 50 things. It means biathlon and ski jumping and luge and all those other wimpy things. It means curling.
It's a mainstay pastime in the frozen north, one that certainly gets a chuckle from we warm weather Texans. But 500 years since its invention on an icy lake top in Scotland, curling, it seems, has come of age. From a medal sport in the Olympics to the mouth of Mark Davis and onto the ice rinks of North Texas, the most, well, Yankee of sports has scored big with the good old boys and girls of the Lone Star State.
Sit down. That is what I'm talking about. Like a bunch of sports fans, I'm an Olympics fan. We saw the downhill skiing and said, boy, those guys are insane. Watched the luge and the bobsled and said, those guys are insane. Then we watched curling for the first time, really watched it because they aired a lot of it, and we said, we might be able to do that. Can you imagine that? Big, thick Texas guys? So we mentioned this on the show, just purely hypothetically. We think we can do this. The phones lit up, like nothing during the Clinton impeachment, the phones lit up. Okay, give it a little oomph. Okay, here we go. We're just enormously proud that Texans have become good enough, because the people who are in this league who are just pure Texan are beating the living daylights out of the Michiganders, the North Dakotans, the Minnesotans sometimes. And we've traveled and had some success as well, and it always baffles people that, you guys are from Texas? Really? Yes, we are.
Okay, imagine playing shuffleboard, sliding a 42-pound hunk of granite across 110 feet of ice, all while trying to keep your balance, aiming, releasing, then landing said granite precisely in the middle of a 12-foot target. And there you've got curling. Oh, and then there's the part about the sweeping. Sort of like a baseball pitcher getting to change his pitch after the ball has left his hand. All it takes is a little help from your friends.
You want to release with exactly the right touch so that it goes exactly where it needs to go. Because if you throw it light, your team's going to have to, brush like sons of a gun and might not even get there. If you throw too hard, well, you're just totally useless. That is sweeping like you care. Part of success is knowing when to sweep, part is not that.
Say it all looks a little goofy? Mark begs to differ.
Anybody that says that, drag their butt down here and try it, and we'll see how goofy they think it is.
Okay, maybe not goofy, but certainly unusual, in Texas anyway. and just the kind of thing folks here say makes this frosty game of concentration and skill addicting.
Don't judge after 5 minutes, because after I was out here after 5 minutes, I was ready to think this was just one of those things that was a lot of fun to think about, but a really fairly bad idea to do because I had sprawled a couple of times in a very, very inglorious fashion. But after about 15, 20 minutes, it's like, this is okay. After an hour, hooked like a fish.
All the way! Hard!
What started as a mere mention on Mark Davis's radio talk show has grown into the DFW Curling Club, and members come from around the state every week, some from as far away as Amarillo, just to spend 2 hours on the ice for the fun, the friendship, and a 500-year-old frozen game that's just found its way into the Sun Belt.
I mean, I've spent my entire career talking about enormous issues, legal cases, elections, but this, how many people have talked about this? And how many people have lit a spark that a ton of people have responded to so that we can have a league full of people doing this? It's just one of the most satisfying things. When the story of my career is written, this may be bizarre, it may be lovely, but this is going to be a highlight.